They went parading, putting on the green and taking it through the streets in support of the Fighting Irish. Then we traveled from the Emerald Island to the Sunshine Peninsula. In Jacksonville, Florida, they've gathered for the world's largest cocktail party.
Rockies in the great indoors of the Astrodome. This year, Navy is off to its best start in 17 years. And today, they look to soar full steam ahead, while Lou Holtz looks to right the Notre Dame ship. It's Notre Dame and Navy in the Shamrock Classic on CBS. Here in Dublin, where Ireland has opened its arms to welcome nearly 20,000 fans from the U.S. and another 25,000 locals to watch Navy and Notre Dame play the first ever American football game at hallowed Croke Park. Navy finds itself as the home team, facing the visiting Fighting Irish on Irish soil. I'm joined by Phil McConkey, captain of the 1978 Navy team, and I have to admit, come clean, I'm a graduate of Notre Dame, so let's exchange hats. Try and provide a balanced ticket here this afternoon, Phil. Well, of course, Notre Dame coming
use their offense, and that problem is compounded at right guard due to injury. A freshman reserve defensive tackle, number 77, Brad Williams, gets the start on only a couple days of practice, so we'll be watching for that. Hey, they rolled over Washington. They lost to Air Force. Today's outcome will probably be determined by which Notre Dame team shows up.
Well, we'll find out which Notre Dame, because here they come now onto the field at Croke Park in Dublin, Ireland. The Fighting Irish trying to turn a visiting game against the home team Navy into the kind of support they would get back at Notre Dame Stadium. And most of the fans who have come from the U.S. are here to support the Fighting Irish. The Naval Academy, the midshipmen at 5-1, their best start in 17 years. They're having an outstanding year. They're pumped and ready, beating off the win by Air Force, another service academy over Notre Dame, and here they come. And we'll be back for Navy and Notre Dame from Dublin, Ireland's Croke Park, here on CBS. 4-2, the Navy midshipmen at 5. Reporter joining us here in Dublin, Ireland, Andrea Joyce. Andrea?
All right, thanks, Tim. You know, this may look an awful lot like a football field today, but Croke Park has undergone a massive transformation over the last several days. The goalposts were shipped in from Scotland, the scoreboard borrowed from England, and two retired athletic directors were flown in from the States to help them paint the lines on the field. Croke Park is usually home to two very Irish sports. One of them, Gaelic football, is an awful lot like Irish, or rather Australian rules football, with a little bit of rugby mixed in. And the other one is hurling. Hurling is one of the most ancient team games in the world. It's compared to field hockey, but really it's a lot faster and a lot more dangerous. Now, as far as the players go, this has been a real cultural and educational experience, this trip to Ireland. But today they're ready to focus on football, and as the Irish might say, Tim, these guys are ready for a real cracker of a game. Back to you.
All right, Andrea, a cracker of a game indeed. And don't be deceived by the empty seats you see in some of our camera shots, because there are about 45,000 people expected here for the game today. This stadium normally seats 75,000 for hurling and Gaelic football. And so much of the seating where the folks from the U.S. have chosen to pay for their high-priced seat is on our side away from the camera. So do not be deceived. There's a big crowd here in Dublin. Navy will kick it off. And the Fighting Irish in white will return with dangerous Alan Rawson, number 15, the deep man just outside the goal line. Jason Covarrubias will be kicking it off for the midshipmen. Sure, you're curious as to the numbers of local fans who came out to the game. They don't know much about it, but as we indicated, about 25,000 from Ireland expected to be here today. And we're underway. Rawson from the end zone. Slip, but he'll bring it out. And Rawson stumbled at the 40-yard line, or he might have gone down the sideline. Instead is knocked out of bounds by the kicker, Covarrubias. A 48-yard return, and it appeared that there was a flag down on the play at the end of it, but we'll check and see as they are at the 45-yard line, spotting where he went out of bounds.
It looks like it's against Notre Dame. You usually see penalties. It's on the return team in a kicking situation. Rawson's a guy that returned 199 yards earlier in the season. He took that one about 3 or 4 yards deep in the end zone, Tim, and he was backing up, slipped coming out, and it didn't look like he would get much coming out.
Illegal block on the receiving team, 10-yard penalty, first out.
Illegal block, moves the ball back to the Notre Dame 35-yard line. Ron Paulus comes on to lead the Irish offense, passing at 57%, very consistent. 6 touchdown passes, a good week against Air Force in the losing cause, 16 of 24. First and 10 at the 35-yard line of Notre Dame with the penalty on the kickoff return. Slightly greasy field due to rain yesterday. Randy Kinder on the first play picks up about 5, and Kinder joined by Mark Edwards at fullback, Malcolm Johnson, Emmett Mosley, the wide outs, along with tight end Pete Kriplevich, the tight end. Clevenger, Wisney, Kaczynski, and there's Brad Williams, number 77, the freshman at right guard, who's over from the defensive team where he was a backup defensive tackle and end. Slot formation to the right on 2nd and 5. Kinder again. Hit hard, just over the line of scrimmage, got maybe 2. Jerby Alota came up from free safety, number 6, to make the hit. Tom Poulter, Chad Holzapfel, Jason Snyder, and Michael Ogden across the Navy front. 2 linebackers in their alignment, Clint Bruce and Travis Cooley, and then 5 defensive backs. They are led by Jerby Alota, the junior from San Diego, Sean Andrews and Robert Green on the corners, Kevin Lewis and Rashad Smith with Alota as the safeties. Adam Krishon is in for Kevin Lewis. With the safety position for Navy on 3rd and a long 1. And Navy has stopped the Irish on the opening series. Bruce puts the hit on Kinder.
Yeah, we talked about this guy in the pregame, Tim. Number 51, he likes to play like Dick Butkus. 77, Brad Williams come in pulling. But we had number 51, Bruce, come in and stop the Irish short of a first down.
6 feet, 240 pounds, Clint Bruce, but all muscle and all enthusiasm from Garland, Texas. And the Irish will have to punt. Hunter Smith, the punter in, and Ross Scott, the deep man for Navy, waiting for it at the 15. Flag down. Short punt into the wind. And angles out of bounds at the Navy 36-yard line. Let's see who the flag is against. Just a 21-yard punt from Hunter Smith.
Illegal formation on the kicking team. Penalties decline. First out.
Illegal formation against the kicking team, so obviously Navy is going to decline that. They've got good field position at their 36. Chris McCoy brings on to the Naval Academy offense. And Chris McCoy, in his last outing against Wake Forest, rushed for 181 yards. And Notre Dame jumps in quickly. Wynn that dropped Navy for a loss on the opening play. 2nd and 10. McCoy on the option. Again, nowhere to go. 4 Notre Dame defenders into the backfield, led by Kennan Tatum, the linebacker, and Corey Minor, the linebacker, on the outside. Numbers 2 and 4 to drop McCoy for another loss.
See the problems with footing at the second time today. We've seen a slip. Rossum on the opening kickoff, and right there, Chris McCoy couldn't get going on that option.
So 3rd down and 11. McCoy trying the left side. Again, slipped and stumbled and only got a couple. Maybe we'll have to punt. He's buried there by Kennan Tatum. And this greasy field taking its effect on both teams in the early going. Heavy rains yesterday morning and some rain the day before on Thursday, contributing to the slippery field here. Both teams having trouble with it.
Navy does not like to be in those deep situations on offense. 3rd and 11 is not conducive to this option run and shoot offense.
Jason Covarrubias into punt. Alan Rossum back to receive, waiting for it at the Irish 16-yard line. No score, first period. Good kick with the wind from Covarrubias. Fair catch signaled by Rossum. He dropped it, but manages to cover up before the Naval Academy arrives. And so Notre Dame will start from their 21-yard line, a 41-yard punt. No score.
We almost got beat by Army. Air Force did beat us in overtime, and Navy was ahead of us at halftime last year. This is a very, very good Navy team. It's a Navy team that beat the Air Force Academy, and I am concerned about how well we're going to play. I think that we're ready to play the football game. I think we're anxious to play it. Now it's just a question of how well we play.
A little tense since his arrival here in Ireland. Irish coach Lou Holtz gave them a rough and ready workout the other day, and he realizes obviously the importance of this game and some concern coming off the loss to Air Force 2 weeks ago. Autry Denson in the lineup at running back now, number 23. Kinder had the start today. Denson in the lineup, slot right, Notre Dame on 1st down. Navy angling in and filling those gaps and holding Denson to a gain of about 2 yards at the most.
What Navy will try to do is line up and confuse the offense of Notre Dame. This is something that Air Force had a lot of success with last time out. Clint Bruce makes the call, and you saw Ron Powless check out of that play into a different one, but it still only gained about 2 yards.
Notre Dame with the freshman at right guard, Brad Williams. Mike Rosenthal out for a month with a broken ankle. And here's Denson finding some running room. Autry Denson has a 1st down to the 35-yard line.
Fumble on the play.
And a fumble on the play. And it's Notre Dame ball. Kevin Lewis put the hit on Denson, and the ball came loose. And if anything, Lou Holtz talked about was keeping possession of the football.
That's right. He's an elusive kind of guy. He's in the doghouse right now. Denson, he slipped by 2 tackles and laid the ball on the ground, and Lou Holtz will not tolerate that, especially today.
That's what he emphasized in his conversation with us, and he's emphasized it with his team. Protect the ball. But it's a 1st down. Notre Dame just inside their 35-yard line. No score, opening period. From Croke Park in Dublin, Ireland. Hollis trips, and he'll just have to cover the ball. Appeared to trip over his center's foot as he started back. There'll be a loss of about 3 on the play. Whether he just slipped, we're not sure, but as we've seen, the players are struggling a bit on this greasy turf.
With all the shifting that Navy does defensively, you would think that Notre Dame might come out with a quick snap situation to keep Navy from shifting or overloading to one side or the other.
Saw Charlie Weatherby, the Navy coach. He's done such a great job, has them off to a 5-1 start. His 2nd season as head coach at Navy. 2nd and 13. Edwards alone set back. 3 wides to the left side of the field, the short side. Hollis will throw. His receiver slipped and fell down. Johnson, the intended receiver, just slipped on that turf. So this is definitely going to be a factor, Phil. We've seen problems for all of the players in the early going.
On that play, it didn't matter because Robert Green, the cornerback for Navy, they've got great cover guys, Navy, with Sean Andrews on the other side, a second-team All-American last year, and Kevin Lewis were over in coverage. They had trips to that side, but the receiver slipped down.
Now they send 2 wide receivers out to the right on 3rd down and 13. Hollis has lots of time, and he finds advantage dropped incomplete. Incomplete pass. Denson couldn't hold on. He was open out of the backfield. Would not have had first down yardage. 2 Navy defenders were right there to drop him. So Notre Dame will have to punt.
Good protection that time for Paulus. He had nowhere to go with the ball. Navy lined up in a man situation, and at the last second shifted out of it, dropped back into his zone, and Kevin Lewis was all over the potential receiver on that play.
Hunter Smith in to punt for the Irish. Ross Scott waiting for it at the Navy 25. Good low drive. Excellent punt into the wind. Scott tried to catch it, and on his second attempt was able to cover, but back at the 12-yard line of Navy. And they'll start deep in their own end when we return. No score.
So I hear he's moving.
No score in the first quarter. Earlier today, the teams were very concerned about the slippery field conditions. It's been raining a lot in Dublin the last few days, and so the helicopter came through this morning and dried off the field. It is a lot drier than it was yesterday. We were slopping through mud, and I have to tell you, you got to believe, Tim, that they got a little bit of advice from the New York Yankees. They used this tactic during the World Series. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Andrea. Navy, Scott had a problem with the greasy field, trying to retrieve that punt. Tim Canada on first down from his 12-yard line gets a couple out near the 15. Tim Canada, a junior from Trussville, Alabama, number 26. And a gain of about 3, it looks like. 2nd and 7 from the 15-yard line. Ross Scott trying to catch up with that line drive punt, a good one from Hunter Smith of Notre Dame. And he slipped and nearly lost the ball deep in his own end. Corey Shem into the lineup, number 20. Senior from Cheektowaga, New York, in one of the slot back positions for the Naval Academy. McCoy faked the handoff, and he's buried again as the Irish are exploding through the offensive front of Navy. Burt Berry, Ronaldo Wynn, and Kinnan Tatum all in on that tackle.
Yeah, the strength of this Notre Dame team is their front 7. Burt Berry leads Notre Dame in sacks with 5.5 this year. He had 3 in one game against Washington. They're going to come. They know that the field is bad. Defense, maybe. Some people say that the offense has the advantage. I'm not sure if anybody has an advantage on this type of a field.
So it's now 3rd and 13 for Navy. McCoy rolling deep downfield into traffic, and it's broken up. Intended for Butts and broken up by Deke Cooper, the safety number 1.
McCoy gets one right under the chin that time by Ronaldo Wynn. And that's a situation, again, Navy does not like to be 3rd and long. They were 3rd and 11 on the last series, 3rd and 13 on that one. It's very difficult for this offense to convert in that situation.
Jason Covarrubias will have to punt from the end zone now on 4th down. Rawson waiting for it at midfield on the 50-yard line. And they've got Denson in. After Lou Holt said Rawson would return all the punts, he's got Denson in there. Denson shakes loose, starts to the sideline, and gets inside the 45 down to the 41-yard line of Navy. David Josephorsky, the linebacker, forced him out there. And we'll be back in Dublin, still no score, with 7:09 to go first quarter. In Dublin, Ireland, Notre Dame and Navy scoreless. First quarter, 7:09 to go. Notre Dame with a first down at the 43-yard line of Navy after Denson's 13-yard return of the punt from the end zone. Denson and Edwards, the running backs, and Denson is buried at the line of scrimmage. There'll be no gain. Michael Ogden, the defensive end, number 92, with the first contact for Navy.
Yeah, they're running to the right side. 77, Brad Williams, a guy we talked about earlier, a freshman reserve defensive lineman. He's only had a couple days of practice on offense. I don't understand how the guy can understand any of the assignments.
Mike Rosenthal, injured against Air Force, out for a month with an ankle injury. Jeremy Akers on the left side playing hurt with his shoulder. Jerry Wisney got the start there today. Shuffle pass. Edwards. First down, Notre Dame to the 30-yard line of Navy. Travis Cooley made the hit. Number 50 for the Naval Academy.
Yeah, Lou Holtz is going to play it very conservatively today, especially on this field. Dropping back, everybody thinking pass, just shovels it off. A missed tackle by Adam Creechon, and Mark Edwards comes up with the first down. One good thing about that play, if it goes on the ground, it's just an incomplete pass. You don't have to worry about the fumble.
And you saw Brad Williams, the rookie right guard there, doing the blocking job on that side of the field. Notre Dame in Navy territory, first down at the 30. Jamie Spencer in at fullback for Edwards. For Notre Dame, number 33. This is Denson. Denson has a hole, digs hard, and gets down to the 21-yard line. Close to another Irish first down. Robert Green, the cornerback, number 21, made the tackle.
Lou Holtz kind of football, what he wants to do is power the ball, play smash mouth football. They go right up the middle that time. Autry Denson's their leading rusher, but he's been in the doghouse, like we said before. He's come up big a couple times this afternoon, and we'll get to see just how much Lou Holtz lets him on the field.
Denson, the sophomore from Lauderhill, Florida, was a fan of the Florida State Seminoles growing up. Came to Lou Holtz and said, "I'm another Warwick Dunn." They had him on defense. He wanted to play offense. Edwards, the ball carrier, gets about 2 yards, but certainly enough for the first down inside the 20. Notre Dame into the red zone for the first time today. Clint Bruce made the tackle.
Lou Holtz said that Brad Williams gives them the best chance to win. They have a couple other reserve offensive linemen, but for some reason he decided to take this guy who's only 265 pounds, but Lou says he's a very strong guy and he's a quick learner, obviously.
Freshman from Orange, California, number 77. In motion is Mosley. They go back the other way with Denson. Denson trying to shake loose and does. To the 5-yard line, Autry Denson, driven out by Sean Andrews. First and goal.
Yeah, he's their playmaker, Autry Denson, getting some time right now at running back. Just a simple sweep to the right, missed tackles, and he outruns a couple guys. That's Sean Andrews, second-team All-American for Navy, that saves the touchdown.
Well, you talked about him being in the doghouse, and Lou Holtz, without saying it directly, just indicating that he hadn't been doing the blocking and doing all of the other things besides running well with the ball that have been asked of him, but he's a dangerous runner when he has it in his hands. First and goal. Edwards crashing to the goal line. Touchdown. Mark Edwards, the senior fullback from Norwood, Ohio, scoring for Notre Dame.
Notre Dame has about a 50-pound advantage on the average across that offensive line, and they powered that time, but most of it was on the back of Mark Edwards. He carried a couple guys into the end zone.
Jim Sanson in for the point after, and it is good. So with 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the first quarter, Notre Dame has opened the scoring. Here it is again.
Pretty good penetration by the Navy defense on the fringes that time, but he's just powered into the end zone. He got a lot of help that time, did Mark Edwards, by number 33, Jamie Spencer. 7-0 Notre Dame.
He marched it in for a 5-yard touchdown by Mark Edwards. 43 yards in 6 plays, using up 2:29 on the clock and a 7-0 lead. Enrico Hunter back for Navy. Returning the kickoff out over the 30-yard line. Danson's kickoff return to the 31. And Astor Heaven, the return man on that somewhat short kickoff, just an 8-yard return.
Mark Edwards,
wide receiver, gets to the 32-yard line.
Mark Edwards is a guy that Lou Holt said can play in the era without face mask. He can run, he can block, and he can catch, and he's a good kid. We talked to him the other day.
Naval Academy first down. And McCoy again buried before he can make a move. Option so far has been ineffective for Navy on offense. Burt Berry and Ronaldo Wynn again just sifting through to bury McCoy before he can make a play. 49 rushing yards for the Irish, -2 for Navy.
Yeah, that is very surprising right there. Navy's the 3rd-ranked rushing team in the country. Notre Dame, number 18. But so far, Notre Dame has got this triple option run-and-shoot offense figured out.
Navy rushed for 463 yards in their win over Wake Forest last week, 47-18. This is McGrew, and nowhere for him to go. Got back to the original line of scrimmage for a gain of only about a yard. A flag on the play.
Probably holding on Navy. They're having trouble with the penetration of Notre Dame.
Kinnan Tatum made the stop. And the infraction against Navy. Referee is Randy Sims.
When we were out of practice the other day, Lou spent almost the entire practice with the offense. Bob Davie, the coordinator of the defense, were over on the side, and they seemed a bit more relaxed than the offense. I guess with Lou over getting on the offense, it's a little easier for them in practice.
Yeah, I think that's a very good observation.
Whatever Bob Davie did for them today, or did during the week, they seem to have their assignments down pat. Maybe that extra week to prepare for this game has them working their assignments to perfection thus far.
15-yard penalty against Navy, a chop block called against the Naval Academy, and the midshipmen are backed up to their 17-yard line. 2nd down and 23 yards to go. McCoy has a man open, connects to Corey Shem. He's hit immediately. Gain of about 6 yards on the play. Benny Gilbo, number 39, made the hit. It'll leave 3rd and long for Navy. Now the ball at their 27-yard line. Make it the 22-yard line. Benny Gilbo, the sophomore, strong safety from Opelousas, Louisiana. Having a good season for the Fighting Irish, where safety has been a soft spot through the first 6 games. McCoy, quarterback draw, ran into his own man and then is stuffed by Corey Bennett, number 95, junior from Doraville, Georgia, just into the game on defense this series. And the Naval Academy forced once again to punt.
Well, they know they've got Navy down when it's 3rd down and 20. The defensive front for Notre Dame just created a stalemate at the line of scrimmage, thinking that Chris McCoy would try something like that draw against them.
Jason Covarrubias into punt. Alan Rossum now back on the field to return. He's waiting for it at the 35-yard line. A high snap and a good recovery by Covarrubias and a dandy punt. Rossum fields it at the 32. Alan Rossum all the way down to the 25-yard line of Navy. Matt Scanlon finally pushed him out right in front of the Notre Dame bench, where he receives a huge welcome.
On his 2nd punt return in college football, Rossum returned a punt 57 yards against Air Force. He almost lost it there. Another missed tackle by Navy, and the kicker, Covarrubias, saves a touchdown, as he did in the Air Force game a couple weeks ago for Navy, and it could have been the difference in the game.
They spotted at the 27-yard line. 1st down, Notre Dame. 1:58 to go, 1st quarter. Mosley in motion behind the ball. Denson Gets it over the 25 to about the 24-yard line. Clint Bruce and Jervy Alota, the two strong men, that Navy defense behind the front. Bruce the leader and leading in tackles with 57. 38 of them solo, the senior from Garland, Texas. Spencer in the lineup at fullback for Notre Dame, number 33, Jamie Spencer, replacing Mark Edwards on 2nd and 7. They give us to Denson, shakes off a tackle, pulled down from behind. It gets inside the 20. Rashad Smith at the Navy tackle.
Navy came on the blitz that time. This game is developing into a field position game, Tim, with the field as slippery as it is. Navy's offense not being able to get on track. They're in a lot of 3rd and long situations. A couple returns, and Notre Dame gets good field position, and they're down to the Navy 20, knocking on the door once more.
Edwards back in at fullback for the Fighting Irish, number 44. Denson now has 45 yards rushing on 7 carries, and he made that key punt return of 14 yards, setting up the opening score. This is Edwards. He's got a big hole. Mark Edwards to the 6-yard line and running behind the freshman guard, Brad Williams. Jervy Alota made the tackle.
You're right, Tim. Brad Williams, the right guard, number 77, just decks his guy, pancakes him into the ground, allowing the running back, Mark Edwards, a big hole on that right side. Boy, this guy is a quick learner. I can't imagine he could even remember the plays. Only after a couple days on the offensive line.
Yeah, Lou Holtz was very confident. He said, we like this young man's athletic ability. We've got an injury to Rosenthal. We're going with him. Denson. Traffic this time. Navy stacking it up in the middle and nowhere to run. He got maybe a yard to the 5-yard line.
What you want to do on a field like this today, Tim, is try to run straight ahead as often as you can.
We've reached the end of the first quarter. CBS Sports coverage of college football will continue from Croke Park in Dublin after this message and a word from your local station.
Radio Shack. You've got
Dame leads Navy at the end of the first quarter 7-0. There are a lot of Irish fans here. 6,000 of them bought tickets on the very first day, even though they are completely baffled by American football. How confused are they? Here are the top 3 questions asked of the American football players this week. Number 1, does the winner of this game go to the Super Bowl? Number 2, do the Fighting Irish really fight? Number 3, do you have to be good at kickboxing to be good at football? Needless to say, Tim, they're very interested in the bands and the cheerleaders. They're looking forward to halftime. Back to you guys.
Well, you know, there was a very amusing piece in the Irish Times this morning about the pep rally. That was something else they didn't know much about. The writer, a clever one, and the Irish Times had a lot of fun. In fact, he referred to the leprechaun here as a Darby O'Gill character. And he said his role at the pep rally was to vie against that big ram, a giant ram, the mascot of Navy, in an effort to whip up mutual hatred between the two teams. They're having great fun with this whole experience here.
They don't have to rely on the mascots for that today.
No, they sure don't. Notre Dame knocking on the door. 2nd and goal from the 5. Hollis rolling left. He's got a man wide open. Kriplevich, the tight end, touchdown.
Long history of great tight ends at Notre Dame. Ken McAfee, Mark Bavaro, Tony Hunter, Derek Brown, and Pete Kriplevich. Number 98, he's a big target out there.
Well, Lou hasn't relaxed yet, but that's a good start for Notre Dame. Just into the 2nd quarter, and Sanson's point after now will make it 14-0 for the Fighting Irish.
He gets rolling out to the left that time. The Navy players, both linebackers, fall over each other trying to figure out what's going on. Kriplevich is just wide open. Nobody around him. 14-0 now for the Irish.
Like that accountant I told you about?
He's great.
Uptown, huh?
With Phil McConkey, we're at Croke Park in Dublin, and Notre Dame has opened a 14-0 lead in the opening minute of the second period. A 5-yard touchdown pass from Ron Paulus to Krplevich. 28 yards in 5 plays for the Irish. Denson will kick it off. Hunter is the deep man at the goal line for Navy. Big crowd on hand here at Croke Park, a stadium that seats 76,000 normally for its hurling and Gaelic football action. First ever American college football game played here on this field. There have been 2 other games played here in Dublin. And it comes down right at the goal line, and Rico Hunter will bring it up for the Naval Academy, and he's got good blocking. And Hunter all the way out to the 35-yard line. Good return for Navy. 34 yards. Bobby Howard, reserve linebacker, made the tackle.
Navy's biggest play of the day. Enrico Smith returning the kickoff, 34 yards. His up men give him great support, leading the way, breaking the tackle. And again, on this field, you want to go up north and south. Don't make a cut because you'll probably slip.
Ben Fay has come in at quarterback for Navy, replacing Chris McCoy here early in the second quarter. And it is Tim Canada, the fullback, struggling for maybe 3 on the play. Canada, the junior from Trussville, Alabama.
You know, Navy will switch quarterbacks no matter what the score is. Ben Fay may not be as good a runner as Chris McCoy, but he can really throw the ball. In fact, Bob Davies said he's got as strong as arm as anybody they've seen all year long.
6'1", 202-pound senior from Fort Worth, Texas. A delightful young man. We had a chance to meet him and Chris McCoy. And he makes the pitch as he took the hit. And it's McGrew who gets the first down. Good effort by Fay and McGrew for Navy, and a good block on the corner. Ronaldo Wynn knocked him out of bounds.
Fay just about slips on the ground just before his knee hits, and his knee may have hit. That may have been, should have been a dead ball right there as his knee hit, because I think he pitched the ball after his knee was on the ground. But anyway, it's a first down for Navy.
And their first of the game. With 14:08 to go in the second period. First down at the 46-yard line of the Naval Academy. Fay rolling right, gets protection. Sideline pass intended for Butts is out of bounds, incomplete. LeBron Butts, number 84, the intended receiver. Fay may have elected to throw that one away.
Yeah, it looks like they're playing on ice skates out there. The receivers trying to make cuts. They're slipping down. Fay trying to plant. He slips and just gets rid of the ball.
It'll leave 2nd and 10 for Navy. I think one thing we can safely say when we talk to these players in the last few days that they're just a really fine group of young men on both teams. That's Canada on the pitch from Fay, but a flag down before the play even started. Cobbins made the tackle, but I believe that play is just going to come back. May have been delay against the Naval Academy, a little slow getting the play off. Randy Sims, the referee, will give us a call.
5-yard penalty.
Navy, the third leading rushing team in the country, is having its problems today, obviously, against the Fighting Irish.
And it was delay of game as they just didn't get the play off in time. So it's 2nd and 15. Back at the 41-yard line now of the midshipmen. Their spread offense. Fay hit before he could do anything. Notre Dame has been shredding the Navy offensive line. Corey Minor this time. And
Bob Davies said that they would be probably a little tentative, maybe react, but so far today, they're on the attack. Corey Minor just comes in and levels Fay, and this Notre Dame defense right now is playing with a lot of confidence. They're not too worried about what Navy's doing like they thought they might be going into this game. They are just charging full speed ahead.
Navy smaller along the defensive front, but actually sizable on offense, with the exception of the right tackle, Scott Zimmerman, who's only 245, but Notre Dame has been dominating. Fay will run out of there. Couldn't find a man open and picked up the original yardage lost back to the 46-yard line, but it'll be 4th down. Alton Maiden and Ronaldo Wynn made the tackle. Jason Covarrubias into punt for Navy, standing at his 32-yard line. Denson waiting for it. The 24 of Notre Dame. Navy kicking into the wind now in this second quarter. Low, short punt caught by Denson. Fair catch at the 28-yard line. CBS Sports coverage of college football will continue after this word from your local station. CBS's Uncle James, the literary legend most closely associated with Dublin, lived here from 1882 to 1941, and of course famous for Ulysses and many other fine works of literature. A genuine Irish hero. That's in downtown Dublin. Wrote much of Ulysses in a famous pub called Davy Jones, which is still here. 14-0. Fighting Irish lead Navy. 12:25 to go in the first half. First down Irish at their own 28-yard line. Denson shakes off one tackle. A flag is down as he struggles over the 35 to the 36-yard line. Picked up nearly 8 on the play, but let's see what the call is from referee Randy Sims. Ogden made the tackle, number 92.
Ogden and Joseph with a flag on the play.
Denson's a guy that doesn't seem to have too much trouble with the footing today. We've seen him slip tackles, make cuts, and stay on his feet. I don't know if he's got longer cleats on or what's going on with Denson, but he's getting upfield pretty well today. He's got 8 carries, 47 yards. And we've still got some time left in the first half.
They're marching it off against the Irish, so his good run will come back. Holding is the call against the Irish. And that backs it up to the 21-yard line. First down over again, 1st and 17. Lone setback is Edwards. 4 receivers in this set. And Hollis just runs it straight ahead for no gain. Navy ready for that. Tom Poulter, defensive end number 99, made the tackle.
Well, that's a strange play right there. They line up 4 guys at the wide receiver position to loosen up Navy a little bit. And they've got a running back, big running back in the backfield, but they elect to go with Paulus on the sneak, and it didn't fool Navy at all.
Second down. 16 yards to go. Paulus got just a yard on that quarterback sneak attempt. Here comes the blitz, and they get Paulus. He holds on to the ball, but it was Robert Green, the cornerback. And Paulus, that would be a nightmarish situation. He got nailed like that against Air Force in overtime. It led to the winning score. Field goal by Air Force that won it.
That came from his blind side. Robert Green came in. He didn't see him till the last second. Boy, they're lucky they held on to the ball that time. Robert Green with a big play that backs up the Irish.
Paulus, a good job there to hang on to that football, and a great defensive effort by Robert Green.
He started to come a little early when the fullback shifted, had to get back on his line of scrimmage, but you knew he was coming all the way.
Now they're backed up 3rd and 25 at the 12-yard line. Paulus steps up, sideline pass is caught by Mosley. And he gets back to the original line of scrimmage, but well short of the first down. Got to the 28-yard line, 4th down.
But what that does for Notre Dame, that's a 15-yard completion. They're still 11 yards short of the first down, but this is a game of field position today. And that's 15 yards further that Navy's going to have to come back to get a score. So even though it didn't successfully get a first down, it was a good play for Notre Dame.
Hunter Smith will punt. He's standing at his 14-yard line. Ross Scott waits for it at the Navy 19. High punt. Fair catch signaled at the 35. Good field position for the Naval Academy, down 14-0 when we return.
I'll buy 10 of these.
9:39 to go in the first half. Chris McCoy has returned at quarterback for the Naval Academy. Ben Fay worked the last series for them, and they have just been unable to get anything going offensively. We mentioned the third best rushing team in the country, averaging 306 yards a game with 463 against Wake Forest last week, but they've been unable to run on this greasy field against an overpowering Notre Dame defense to this point. Three receivers to the left for Navy on first down. And it's McGrew met as soon as he caught the ball, coming up from the safety position. Deke Cooper, freshman from Evansville, Indiana, stopping Pat McGrew.
Yeah, right now they're just bringing guys up. Everybody knows their assignments from Notre Dame. Cooper just goes right to the pitch guy. He knew who his guy was from the start of that play. They're taking away all three options right now. They're taking away the fullback, the quarterback, and the pitch man. Notre Dame doing a great job of recognition.
Loss of nearly 2 yards on the play. 2nd and 12. McCoy comes to the left, nowhere to go, buried again. Lost another couple of yards. Kinnan Tatum, the senior linebacker, number 2 with the tackle.
How about all these linebackers for Notre Dame with these single-digit numbers? These are big guys who weigh 240, 50 pounds, and they're wearing number 2 and number 4. That doesn't seem right, Tim.
Well, it does look funny, I agree.
Tatum there, number 2. Corey Minor, 4. Ron Cobbins, their leading tackler, wears number 6.
3rd and 14. Navy now in 5 third-down situations. Everything's been 3rd and 10 or longer. McCoy complete to Heaven, short of the first down. Over the 40-yard line, they'll spot it at the 41 before he was driven back. Benny Gilbo made the tackle. That's Astor Heaven, senior from Lugoff, South Carolina. But again, the Naval Academy will have to punt.
You got to keep an eye on Charlie Weatherby, the coach of Navy. He's a really optimistic, hard-charging guy, and he's got a full bag of tricks in his arsenal. He'll pull one off at any time, including a 4th and 3 and a fake punt, so you always got to watch out for him.
And you called it. Jervy Alota, the safety, did he get the first down? Looks like he did. Jervy Alota on the punt unit. Their starting free safety has a first down, Navy. So the trick play worked.
Yeah, he'll try to jumpstart his team any way he can. Jervy Alota, safety from San Diego, California. Last-second effort gets the first down. You know, this guy came in last year. Everybody else thought it was Tom O'Brien, a former Naval Academy player and assistant coach, who's with George Welch at Virginia. Weatherby came in the last second. Everybody was shocked, but he sure has won over a lot of fans with his coaching these last 2 years.
And a 5-1 record, and McCoy is hit by Minor, but the ball had already been handed off, and it is Nelson picking up about 6 yards. Omar Nelson, the senior fullback from Silver Spring, Maryland. And it'll leave 2nd and 3. McCoy paid a heavy price for a good fake.
Well, that's part of running this option series. McCoy's got almost 800 yards running the football. Corey Minor decks him on that play, but Omar Nelson and Tim Canada combined have rushed for over 700 yards for this Navy team.
2nd and a long 3 for Navy inside Notre Dame territory at the 47-yard line. And the pitch to Ross Scott. And Scott has a first down, Navy, to the 41-yard line. So finally, the midshipmen have it on the move. Benny Gilbo and Deke Cooper made the tackle for the Irish.
Yeah, we talked about this offense being very unusual, and it sure is that. A triple option and combination run and shoot. They'll line up with Ross Scott, Pat McGrew, Corey Shem, and Will Smith in the slot back position. And these guys play like wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, and fullbacks, and they do a variety of things.
From the Notre Dame 41, McCoy rolling, wants to throw, nobody there, takes a tough hit and is knocked out of bounds, losing about a yard on the play. Kinnan Tatum knocked him out. He had a man open deep.
Yeah, LeBron Butts beat the coverage. Number 1, D. Cooper, he got behind him, but unfortunately for Navy, McCoy just didn't have enough time, and he took another big hit.
Backed up a yard to the Notre Dame 43-yard line now. 6:18 to go, first half. Notre Dame on top, 14-0. Tim Ryan and Phil McConkey from Croke Park in Dublin, Ireland, home of Irish football and hurling. And it's Omar Nelson, and a 360 move by the quarterback McCoy. Inside handoff to Nelson.
Yeah, this is an offense that's very confusing for the defense. Even though they're big up front for Notre Dame, the offensive line doesn't have to get good big pushes and root guys out. They just kind of shield the defense, get out in front of them, and create some seams for the running backs. And Omar Nelson runs up, and Navy's with a 3rd and 6 here.
Nelson with 498 yards rushing coming into the game today. Had 2 touchdowns against Wake Forest in the win last week. 3rd down and 6, and flags before the ball is snapped.
Things that slow this offense down obviously are turnovers, but mistakes can kill you. You go from 3rd and 6 to 3rd and 11.
David Loya
Repeat, 3rd down.
picked up the penalty, and you can see Charlie Weatherby giving him what for. And that's the 3rd penalty against the midshipmen, 24 yards. Weatherby got Loya right out of there, and Zimmerman back in at right tackle for Navy. So that makes it 3rd and 11. McCoy, straight drop this time. For heaven, he's open, and he's got a first down. Navy dragging the defender to the 20-yard line. Ivory Covington finally pulls him down. 22-yard pass play.
Good pressure that time on Chris McCoy, but he's a quick guy, and he's got a pretty good release. Navy taking an advantage of a mismatch in the defensive backfield. Heaven is 6'2", and Covington's only about 5'8". So he uses his big body to shield the smaller defender and come up with the big pass catch. That's one advantage that Navy will try to exploit this afternoon.
Midshipman first down at the Irish 21-yard line. Play action and flags again. Whistling the play dead before it gets started. Some kind of motion penalty, we assume. Navy had a costly one moments ago. This is Randy Sims marking it off. The referee, 10th play of this drive for Navy.
Start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
Another false start charged against the midshipmen. Last time McCoy was able to get it right back with that completion to Heaven. And now he's got 1st and 15 from the 25-yard line of Notre Dame. Navy in blue, the Irish in white. Again, that inside handoff, Omar Nelson, and he gets back to the 20-yard line of Notre Dame before LaRon Cobbins puts the stop on him there. That'll leave 2nd and about 10.
Corey Minor that time, his responsibility is the quarterback. He's not looking at anybody else, just tackle the quarterback. McCoy handed the ball off to Omar Nelson, but again, he took a big shot from Corey Minor.
Cobbins with the tackle on Nelson. 2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line of Notre Dame. 4:14 to go first half. Notre Dame up 14-0. Nelson takes the fake and the pitch outside to Scott. And Scott gets inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. Another flag on the play. And it's down near the end of the play. And it's signaled against Navy. So a good 7 or 8 yard run is negated. See what the call is from Randy Sims.
Illegal block on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Boy, uncharacteristically for Navy, they've been committing a lot of penalties. That's their 4th for 39 yards in this half. And again, that's what can slow down this multiple offense, penalties and turnovers. They're hurting themselves by not playing disciplined football.
So these penalties costly to the midshipmen. It's 2nd and 14 now. Play action, McCoy, complete to Butts, and a first down, Navy, at the 6-yard line of Notre Dame. 3:39 to go first half. It'll be 1st and goal, Navy.
LeBron Butts, number 84, just comes down. He gets good footing right here, makes the plant of his right foot, comes back to the ball. You don't see the defender, Alan Rossum, number 15. He slipped on the play, enabling Navy to come through with the conversion.
Howard and Rossum on the tackle, but Navy knocking at the door, trying to get on the board here in the first half in Dublin. 1st and goal. Touchdown! Omar Nelson. That inside handoff to the fullback has been their most effective play in the drive, and the senior fullback takes it on into the end zone. And the Navy fans react.
Fullback Omar Nelson goes 6 yards for the Navy touchdown.
You got first-classmen down there doing push-ups. Usually the plebes get to do that at Navy, but this trip only the upper class get to make it all the way over here to Ireland.
Vanderhorst for the point after. And it is good.
Boy, the plebes back at Annapolis are having a big kick out of seeing the upper class do push-ups after that score.
So Navy has cut the margin to 7 points. Notre Dame leads 14-7 with 3:19 to go first half. Omar Nelson for the score. Tim Ryan and Phil McConkey in Dublin, Ireland. Navy getting onto the scoreboard with 3:19 to go in the half on a 6-yard touchdown run by senior fullback Omar Nelson. 66 yards in 12 plays, using up 6:19 on the clock. And they took 3 penalties on that drive, but persisted, coming back each time to move the ball downfield, and that was their most effective play, an inside handoff to Nelson, the last one for a touchdown. Covarrubias, high, short kickoff into the wind. Taken by Robert Farmer. Farmer batters his way out to the 35-yard line of Notre Dame. Farmer, the senior from Bolingbrook, Illinois, reserve running back. So Notre Dame has good field position here with 3:12 to go first half.
Covarrubias took a very short drop to kick that ball about 2 or 3 yards and didn't get any distance at all on it. Notre Dame gets to start in great field position at their own 35.
Slot formation to the left for the Irish. Mosley in the slot. Malcolm Johnson wide left. Play action. Hollis running out of time, looking for an open man, and he'll just run it upfield and takes it out of bounds. A gain of about 1. Forced out by Rashad Smith.
The strength of this Navy team is its secondary. They do a good job in coverage downfield. They were in a zone that time. They normally play man-to-man. Powers just can't find anybody open. It just scrambles out of bounds.
Holter was the man who finally forced him toward the sideline, the defensive end, number 99. So it's 2nd and 9, Irish at their own 31-yard line. Notre Dame off a bye week. The overtime loss to Air Force. Navy pumped at 5-1 for the season and looking for a second Service Academy upset of the Irish. Autry Denson. Denson gets about 8. It'll leave 3rd down and a long yard for the first down. Well, coming up on the Ford halftime report, Craig James and Pat O'Brien will have all the scores and highlights. Danny Sheridan will be along with some inside information, all coming up on the Ford halftime report. Stay with us here all day long on CBS Sports. Third down and closer to 2. forcing a Notre Dame punt. Tom Poulter. Midshipman did a great job of plugging everything up. Denson had nowhere to go.
When they lined up, Navy looked like they didn't have a chance to stop him for a 2-yard gain. But what happened was the linebackers and the safeties came up and filled all the vacated gaps and were able to stop that play.
So 4th down from the 40-yard line. There was a loss of about 3 yards on the play. Scott waiting for it at the Navy 10-yard line. Hunter Smith, the punter, standing at the Notre Dame 26. Off the side of his foot and goes out of bounds at the 23-yard line of the Naval Academy. And so with 1:30 left in the half, Notre Dame leading 14-7. Coming up next, our college football doubleheader continues with regional coverage. Many of you will see top-ranked Florida Gators in a grudge match with the Georgia Bulldogs, and some of you will see a Big East bash between the Syracuse Orangemen and the West Virginia Mountaineers. More football following Notre Dame and Navy here on CBS Sports. First down for the Naval Academy. Their own 23-yard line. McCoy, the quarterback. And fake that inside handoff. The pitch. And McGrew is hit. First to hit him was Deke Cooper. Spun off him, but was able only to get back to the line of scrimmage before he was stopped again.
Usually with 2 minutes to go in the half or at the end of the game, Navy normally puts in their passing quarterback, number 8, Ben Fay, but they've elected to keep Chris McCoy in right there. Maybe they just backed up like this, don't want to commit a turnover. They've got some momentum and maybe go into the dressing room only down a touchdown.
McCoy wants to throw. He slipped. The front foot slips out of there. Now deep downfield, he has a man open. Corey Shem to the 15-yard line. Ivory Covington pulled him down there, but Shem got behind Covington.
They're going to bring this one back, it looks like.
A flag back at the line of scrimmage. In fact, in the backfield, a 59-yard pass play will be wiped out. What a tough break for Navy.
Called by the linesman. It may be offsides or legal procedure, something, but it's against Navy.
Great effort by Chris McCoy. Slipped as he made his first move. Found his footing and got out there to find the open man.
Yeah, but Chris did too good of a job. He got beyond the line of scrimmage, so that'll come back and also be a loss of down for Navy.
Once he started to move, apparently stepped over the line of scrimmage before he released the ball.
Yeah, great play by McCoy to avoid the rush. Doesn't know where he is, gets beyond the line of scrimmage, but comes up with one great throw downfield to Corey Shem. And Navy would have been down deep inside of Notre Dame territory if maybe not for just another inch or two there. It didn't look like he was over by very much.
Instead, it's third down, back at the 25-yard line, 3rd and 15, at the 20-yard line, pardon me. Straight drop this time by McCoy, and overthrows the intended receiver, Butts, number 84. Notre Dame had coverage there, so Navy will have to punt as time heads under the 1-minute mark. 51 seconds remain in the first half.
He also had Howard Bryant running free down the middle of the field, but Fay didn't see him. He was locked on the outside receiver that time.
Lights have been turned on here at Croke Park. It does get dark earlier in the afternoon over here at this time of year. So these lights are on to make sure we have good illumination for the remainder of the game. And another short punt from Covarrubias. Notre Dame will have it in Navy territory. It goes out at the 42-yard line, and there are still 45 seconds left. A 22-yard punt.
Field position's been hurting Navy all day long. That is not the time or the situation to get off a 22-yard punt. with only 45 seconds to go in this game, Notre Dame has a chance to put up the score and end that Navy momentum.
Wallace brings them out. Edwards and Denson, the running backs. Denson on the wing. Straight drop for Paulus. They want the screen. And the tight end for Plevich has a first down. They're in their 2-minute drill. It gets to the 32-yard line in the hurry-up. Notre Dame has all their timeouts left, and they take one now. 27 seconds remain in the first half. Notre Dame 14-7 and threatening. At the midshipman 33-yard line. Paulus has some time trying to find a man, and it's incomplete. Intended for Johnson. Malcolm Johnson, number 80.
Timed up nicely by 29. Andrews for Navy, their All-American, just came in, got his left hand on the ball, kept his right hand off the receiver, and that's what the referees will look for. If that right hand is grabbing that offensive player, they'll call pass interference. Great play by 29.
Sean Andrews, 8 interceptions last year, earned him the nickname F-29 Interceptor. It's 3rd and 1. 20 seconds left in the half. Denson, big hole. Denson could score. Touchdown. Autry Denson, 33 yards for the score on a 3rd and 1 play. Huge hole and great acceleration. Pretty hard for Lou Holtz to keep him off the field, no matter what his other problems might be in other aspects of the game.
I think he's out of that doghouse, wouldn't you say?
He is a dangerous running back, the sophomore from Lauderhill, Florida. And a flag down on the point after play.
Well, he's only a sophomore, but he sure has some explosion. And you saw it the other day in our meeting with Lou Holtz. Hey, how about this guy? He's a big play guy. Lou said, well, you got to block, and you got to catch the ball and do all your assignments. And if you don't do it, you're not going to play. So maybe he sent... So that was a message he had sent to Denson, and he obviously listened to that because he's come back with a vengeance today. He's got 85 yards rushing, and first half isn't over yet.
Jim Sanson for the point after. It's backed up on the 5-yard penalty against Notre Dame. And Sanson connects from there, and it's 21-7. At the point after from Sanson, 33-yard touchdown run by Autry Denson.
Navy knew what was coming. They only had 1 yard to go. They bunched everybody up at the line of scrimmage. Denson pierces an opening, shows his speed, and gets upfield for a touchdown. Boy, that's very frustrating when you know it's coming and you still can't stop it. Once he's past that initial push of Navy...
The little kind of Deion Sanders look there going into the end zone.
I think the score will go over quite nicely with Lou right now. Navy had some momentum scoring after being down 14 points, but Notre Dame increases its lead again.
42 yards in 3 plays. There's Lou. You see that little patch on his nose. Apparently, we were wondering what that was. There's no sun out here for him to worry about. But apparently in the warm-up, one of his players accidentally ran into him, knocked his glasses down onto the bridge of his nose, scraped the nose, and so they had to patch him up. But he can play hurt.
Well, I wonder if that player's in the game today, or if he put him on the bench or in that doghouse.
The Notre Dame will kick it off with 14 seconds left, and indeed the sun we just mentioned has come out for the first time today. And they hit the ground ball shot. It's gathered in at the 15-yard line by Will Smith. And Smith gets out to the 30 with 8 seconds on the clock. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll be going to our halftime report with Craig, Pat, and Danny. Scores and highlights from around the rest of college football today. And we've got doubleheader action on CBS, so stay with us all afternoon. First down, Navy at their 30-yard line. 8 seconds left to play. We'll see whether they throw it deep or just head to the locker room. Running play to Nelson, the same effective one they had on their scoring drive, just the other way, Omar Nelson. And that'll wind up the first half. So from Croke Park here in Dublin, Ireland, the score, Notre Dame 21, Navy 7. CBS Sports coverage of college football continues after this message and a word from your local station.
So I hear he's moving to the corner office.
How's he do it? Northwestern Mutual.
Wow, Merry Christmas.
He's going to sit Troy down, get him together with his parents, get all the NFL personnel, make the right decision. But the thing they like about this kid, he wants to get a college education. He's very happy. He's rooming with his brother Darren, a freshman. And the feeling is that he's going to come back. This kid should have won the Heisman Trophy last year.
We're at halftime. The Irish lead 21-7 over the Navy team that was once captained by Phil McConkey back in 1978. And even I had to feel badly about them not getting that touchdown after the long pass. You know, we mentioned the crowd here earlier, Phil. There is a huge crowd on hand here, most of them on the side of our cameras, so don't be deceived by the empty seats. A lot of those lower seats on the far side of the field were not sold because the view would not have been a good one here at the stadium because this is a much wider field made for Irish football, Gaelic football, and hurling. So very enthusiastic crowd, and they enjoyed the bands at halftime as well. I referred to that long pass play by McCoy, called back as he stepped over the line of scrimmage. Had they gone in, could have been 14 all at the half.
Right, they're down 14-7 at that point. A big play. He avoided him 2 yards in the first quarter, came back with 63 yards in the second, most of that on their long touchdown drive. But Notre Dame averages 122. Notre Dame doing a great job on the Navy quarterback, and that's the key to this offense, stopping the quarterback.
And those penalties have been costly, too, to Navy as well. We heard Lou Holtz talk to Andrea Joyce about the Notre Dame hurting themselves, but it's really been Navy. 6 penalties for 39 yards, and they were damaging, even though in the drive that they scored, they managed to overcome a couple of penalties on that drive and still went in for the score by Omar Nelson. But they are down by 14 as we open the second half here at Croke Park in Dublin under the lights. The sun was out for a while, and it has been dry, but the field remains greasy and slippery. And the kickoff taken in the end zone by Hunter does not bring it up. They'll start from the 20. Just moments ago, Andrea Joyce talked to Notre Dame's Lou Holtz.
Problems on your offense the last couple of weeks. What about their execution today?
Well, Navy's done a little things that we didn't expect. I think we got adjusted. Having a young offensive guard in there presented some problems, but you know, we stopped ourselves with a penalty, and we haven't been successful on 3rd and 2.
Defensively, what's been the key to stopping McCoy?
Well, I think we played well up front. I think we got to make some plays on the secondary. And this is 6 straight quarters now that a wishbone team hadn't made a turnover, and that's incredible. We just can't force a turnover.
Your nose okay?
I'm fine.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Well, we told you earlier Lou Holtz can play hurt. It looks like he just got his Halloween mask on a few days late. That was McCoy on first down. Picked up about 6 and leaves 2nd and 4 for Navy. McCoy 4 of 6 passing in the first half for 55 yards. And of course, that kind of heartbreaker for him. He had the long one downfield. Could have set them up to tie things at 14 all, but called back when he stepped over the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 4, Navy. Their 25-yard line to open the second half. There's that turnaround inside handoff was effective in the first half, at least in the second quarter, after they had just not been able to move the ball at all. And Nelson stopped short of the first down. It'll leave 3rd down about a yard. Alton Maiden, the nose tackle, number 42 on the tackle.
On almost every play, it looks like Navy is committing an illegal procedure. They've got that slot back that starts in motion just before the snap of the ball. It almost looks a little bit like Canadian football, but it's a legal play, and they're able to utilize that movement to their advantage.
3rd and less than a yard. And Nelson picks up the first down to the 32-yard line of the Naval Academy.
And that triple option obviously the first choice for the quarterback is the fullback. He'll put the ball in the fullback's belly. He'll make a read off of the defense, and depending on what they'll do, the fullback sometimes sees the same thing, and he'll know whether or not he's going to get the ball. If he doesn't get the ball, he's got to make the block to spring the quarterback. He'll either duck it up under his fullback or look for his pitch man, and this guy can run it as well as anybody.
First down, Navy. Two wideouts to the left, and now McCoy changing up the play. Gives to the fullback, and he goes nowhere. Nelson, they were waiting for him. Maiden, the nose tackle again, the senior from Dallas. 6'4", 270-pounder. 42.
Navy, the third-ranked team in the country rushing the football, as we talked about earlier, had a tough time in the first quarter, but came around with 63 yards in the second, and right now they're on a drive with 2nd and 10.
McCoy pitching this time to McGrew. McGrew turned back at the corner, nowhere to go. Notre Dame covered that corner very well. Tatum coming up to force it inside, and Dansby made the tackle.
Well, this is how they started the first half, Navy. In the first quarter, they had 3rd and long on their first couple possessions. Right now, Notre Dame is committing 8 guys up on the line of scrimmage between the 2 tight ends to stop that Navy running attack. And what they're doing is putting a guy on the fullback, 1 on the quarterback, and 1 on the pitch guy. And they're carrying out their assignments to perfection again.
Pickup of 2, it leaves 3rd and 8. McCoy, and the drop back, and the rush on by Minor. The ball loose, picked up by the Irish. It's going to be Wynn, touchdown.
But Lou Holtz talked about 6 quarters of play without a turnover by a wishbone team, and that time Chris McCoy got blindsided from the backside, and there's his turnover that Lou Holtz has been looking for the last 2 games against Air Force in the first half against Navy, and he gets a big turnover right there that puts the Irish up potentially by 21 points, depending upon this kick.
Sanson for the point after. It is good. And Ronaldo Wynn picking up the loose ball. Finally, the turnover by the Naval Academy. Let's see it again here as Wynn takes it in.
Corey Minor, number 4. He's got a beat on the quarterback. I think that's his assignment all day long. They told him just go after him. McCoy couldn't see him, didn't know he was coming. The ball lays on the ground. There's Lou's turnover. Wynn touchdown.
So where's our leader?
She'll be here.
You know, with more of a microscope, you know, just to see what's slipping, what he can't do, what his age taken away from him. And I think that drives me even more to cover up all those holes, you know, make sure they don't have anything to say about my basketball skills. And I think that is the most motivation that I can have.
They're ready to ride high once again.
In Dublin, Ireland, where Notre Dame now leads Navy 28-7 here at Croke Park. A touchdown picked up by Ronaldo Wynn on the fumble, and big plays under Coach Lou Holtz. They do come at propitious times, to say the least. And there, a 3rd fumble recovery for a touchdown by Notre Dame, and this time it's Ronaldo Wynn, the senior defensive end from Chicago, Illinois, 5th-year senior, and alertly picking up the ball after a big hit by Corey Minor on quarterback Chris McCoy of Navy. Kickoff taken in the end zone by Hunter. And Hunter gets spun around and works his way over the 20 to about the 23-yard line. Last to get him was Deke Cooper.
Well, this game today with a slippery field turned into a field position game. Notre Dame thus far has had a big advantage in the kicking game. Their punter is getting the ball off. Their kicker is putting the ball deep in the end zone. Unlike Navy, a 22-yard punt after that misplay by Chris McCoy gave Notre Dame good field position, and the kicking game is hurting Navy right now.
Chris McCoy brings out the Naval offense. First down. That is Canada. Tim Canada, junior fullback, pulls his way for 3, maybe 4 on the play. Actually, they spotted up for about a 5-yard gain.
Well, after Bo Morgan destroyed the Notre Dame defense a couple weeks ago, I think Bob Davie said, hey, if we're going to get beat, it's going to be by the fullback or the pitch man. We are not going to let Chris McCoy, the quarterback, get upfield with the football. And they're taking away McCoy so far.
McCoy with 731 yards rushing coming into this game today. And this is Canada with a big hole. Pulled down from behind by Deke Cooper, but a fine run by Canada and a first down at the Notre Dame 42-yard line. 30-yard pickup.
Canada alternates with Omar Nelson. They have over 700 yards combined rushing. Alton Madden missing the tackle. Canada getting upfield. A big game for Navy, their biggest of the afternoon. And again, they're concentrating on the quarterback. That's going to leave the pitch man and the fullback with some room to run.
Canada with 245 yards rushing coming into the game. Big one there. And the midshipman in Notre Dame territory. That is Nelson this time. And he gets about 7 down to the Irish 35-yard line.
What Charlie Weatherby likes to do is alternate all across the board on his Navy team. Defensive line, running backs. He's undersized, usually against most teams he plays against, so he wants to keep his guys fresh, get everybody involved, and everybody has a chance to contribute.
Second and long 2 for Navy inside the 35-yard line of the Fighting Irish. McCoy's going to get hit by Minor, slips away, but is buried by a sea of Notre Dame white jerseys. Corey Minor again, that good speed that he brings from the outside linebacking spot.
For some reason, Navy wants to run that option to the right side, and Corey Minor's just coming down the line of scrimmage. McCoy doesn't see him. I don't know why the Navy coaches don't change up and maybe come at Corey Minor if they can, so they know where he is, because he's wreaking havoc right now in that Navy backfield.
Loss of a yard in the play. It'll be third down and a long 4. This is Canada. Canada should have the first down. Alton Maiden, the nose tackle on the tackle. See where they make the spot. And it is first down, Navy, to the 31-yard line.
Navy
comes back in. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're on the move again. They had the one drive in the second quarter where, despite 3 penalties, they were able to punch it in for a touchdown. And right now, they've been moving out from their 21-yard line.
Inside handoff, Canada again. Canada with a burst of speed and a first down to the 15. Gilbo got him there.
Well, I think what Notre Dame's trying to do right now is make sure the quarterback doesn't beat them. They're getting good penetration, looking at the quarterback. They had 3 guys chasing the quarterback, but Canada, again, right up the middle, finds a seam, and that Navy offensive line did a great job of screening out Notre Dame.
You know, we talked to Charlie Weatherby about if they were down a couple of touchdowns, would they start to throw the ball? Would we see more of the better passer, Ben Fay? And he said, not necessarily. We like to stay with what we can do best. And so far, they're sticking to that plan and moving the ball. Canada, again this time, met just over the line and buried. Got about a 1 yard, maybe 2 on the play, depending on the spot. And Corey Minor on the hit.
You know, we talked to Ben Fay. We asked him the same question. Hey, you're 3rd and 15, or you're down by a couple of touchdowns. You come in and light it up throwing the ball. And he said, no, we got confidence in what we do. We all know our assignments, and we're going to keep running the ball. But this is the first time all year long that Navy's been in a game like this where they're down 21 points to a big team. And there's Ben Fay.
Second down, about 9. McCoy being forced wide, and the pitchman McGrew had 2 defenders waiting for him. A loss of about 5. Corey Minor, he's been working both sides of the field. Covered a lot of real estate, number 4.
Yeah, he's their all-star today, coming again from that one side. And McGrew says, hey, why are you giving me the ball in this situation? These guys are all around me. Just keep it and fall down on the ground, Chris.
Minor started 11 games as a freshman last year. A sophomore from Laverne, California, 6'2", 235-pounder. And you can see he's got great linebacker speed. Bert Berry became the rushing linebacker, but in this defensive setup, it's been Miner who's, as Phil has pointed out, has been zeroing in on McCoy all day. This is Canada again. Gets to the 10-yard line. Picked up about 9. It'll leave 4th down at the 10-yard line. He was tripped up by Alton Maiden.
You see the RR, the red RR on the back of Navy helmets. That's for Red Romo, their longtime trainer, 41 years at Navy, and this is his last one. Leon Red Romo, an institution at the Naval Academy.
Quite a character. Miner does finally get a rest here. Bill Wagacy comes in for the Irish. They will go on 4th down, the Naval Academy. McCoy wants to throw for heaven. Out of bounds. A flag is down. Maybe interference. He was out of the end zone, but they may get an interference call against the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, they're going to call that on 14, Ivory Covington, for pushing on Astor Heaven. Astor Heaven is 6'3", and you got a cornerback that's about 5'8". He's got a big height advantage right there. Pushes him out of the end zone, not looking back for the ball. Another mismatch that Navy takes advantage of.
Pass interference on the defense. Ball will be on the 2-yard line. Automatic first down. So it's 1st and goal from the 2. Navy threatening to close the margin up. Irish in front, 28-7. 6:33 to go in the 3rd. That is Omar Nelson, stopped after a gain of a yard.
Notre Dame ganging up.
Dansby.
Notre Dame ganging up on that play. They didn't pay any attention at all to the quarterback. They felt the ball was going to the fullback, and he did get it and gain about a yard. They're about a half a foot short of a touchdown.
David Quist in to add some bulk along the goal line defense, number 69 for the Irish, right in the middle. 2nd and goal from the 1. Again, it's Nelson, and he's in for a touchdown. Omar Nelson, the senior from Silver Springs, Maryland. Two touchdowns a week ago against Wake Forest, and he's got them both here today. Tom Vanderhorst for the point after. And it's good. 77 yards in 11 plays, and the midshipmen out there celebrating the score with the push-ups.
228-yard pound. Omar Nelson only had to go a yard, and he took the Notre Dame defense right with him.
So with 5:55 to go in the 3rd, Notre Dame 28, Navy 14.
What it takes to become successful.
Isn't it neat that Dikembe Mutombo is one of the great athletes in this country that really cares? I mean, he gets involved.
Omar Nelson has closed the gap for the midshipmen. 77 yards, 11 plays, all of them rushes. And they used up 5:53 on the clock, but they've reduced the margin to 14 now here early in the 3rd.
Charlie Weatherby has instilled a never-say-die attitude with this midshipman team. Down 21 points to Notre Dame. They muster up enough to come back to close the gap.
Kickoff is short, taken by Robert Farmer for Notre Dame. And Farmer battles his way to about the 29-yard line, where Charles Fisher made the stop.
Again, I don't know if that's a game plan of Navy, is to kick the ball high, but he's only kicking it down to about the 22-yard line, and Notre Dame again starts with very good field position.
Navy is into the wind from that side of the field, and it has been gusting around here at Croke Park. 1st down, Fighting Irish. Edwards. Straight ahead for about 4. Mark Edwards, the senior fullback from Norwood, Ohio. Travis Cooley and Jervy Alota combined to stop him. Edwards came into the game with 266 yards rushing, 13 passes. They will throw to him those little circles into the middle. Second and a long 5, Notre Dame. Play action, Paulus trying to find an open man. Excellent coverage. He finally lets it fly, and it is incomplete. Intended for Rakai Nelson and almost picked off by Kevin Lewis. But the officials on the spot said the ball hit the ground. Good effort by Lewis.
Paulus had Pete Kerplevich, or he's looking for him going deep. They had double coverage on Kerplevich. He throws the ball. I was amazed to even throw the ball into that coverage, but he had a guy coming open, Nelson. And let's take a look and see whether or not this ball hits the ground. The Navy bench was arguing vehemently, and it did hit the ground. Good call by the official that time.
Third down, Irish. Shuffle pass, Edwards. Edwards has the first down. Over the 40-yard line to the 41.
Second time they've run that shuttle pass this afternoon. Navy in an obvious passing situation, getting good penetration. This is a play when the blitz is on, they're coming at you from all sides. Let them come upfield and just pitch the ball underneath. Edwards makes a great play. Second effort for the first down.
Rashad Smith and Jervy Alota on the stop, but the Irish with a first down at their 41. Edwards gets 3 or 4 out to the 45-yard line. Notre Dame with a 2-touchdown lead here in the third quarter. Tim Ryan, Phil McConkey at Dublin, Croke Park Stadium. Estimated crowd of 45,000 on hand for this game. 20,000 of them coming from the U.S. Some other expatriates coming over from the continent to be here to cheer on Navy and Notre Dame. Second down. Paulus on the option and nowhere to go. Jason Snyder, the tackle, jumped in there. He sees that play in practice every day.
Yeah, you can't run the option on this team. They see too much of it. They had 10 guys up on the line of scrimmage. Snyder just penetrates, and hey, Paulus, you're not fooling me. I got Chris McCoy I go up against every single day, and he's a lot quicker than you are running this option.
No gain. In fact, a loss of a bit. Makes it third down and 9. Spencer and Denson, the running backs. Great drop this time by Paulus. Forced out of the pocket. And it is incomplete, intended for Mosley. Distracted just enough by Sean Andrews. And Notre Dame will have to punt, so Navy rises up defensively to get the ball back.
That's one thing you do. You score a touchdown, you get back into the game, you kick the ball off, you have to stop the opposing team if you want to get back into the game. Navy did just that. 29, Sean Andrews, All-American defensive back. They're tough to throw against. They have great coverage week in and week out, and they're showing it today against Notre Dame.
Notre Dame showed great respect in talking to them, the cornerbacks, particularly Green and Sean Andrews.
Comes the block.
They tried for it, and it was close, but he nailed it. Hunter Smith, and it's into the end zone for a touchback. Pete Cooper trying to get there to keep it out. 59-yard punt by Hunter Smith.
Charlie Weatherby will do everything he can to get his team back in the game. Hunter Smith almost comes in to make that block. And Navy still down, but has the ball 28-14.
Charles Fisher making the rush.
Oh,
Man, you better hurry up. You're going to get to Charlotte.
I know. I'm about to go right now. So long, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
NBC Superstar Sunday.
Into the end zone, and Navy starts from their 20. 2:57 remaining in the third quarter. Navy playing into the wind. Smith punt, wind aided. McCoy, straight drop back, into the pocket, into traffic, and Heaven could not bring it in. He was too well covered. Cooper and Rossum doubling on the coverage. Rossum, number 15, Deke Cooper, the freshman, number 1.
Rossum was a funny guy the other day. He said he didn't know what day it was coming over after that long flight from Indiana. He said, I just want to sleep. I can sleep anywhere. This guy, last year against USC, had Keyshawn Johnson. He's about 5'7". Keyshawn's about 6'4", but he shut him out, had a great game. So he says, hey, size doesn't mean anything. We got a 2nd and 10 Navy from their own 20-yard line. They take the inside handoff. Here's the pitch on the option. That is McGrew. Forced out of bounds on the far side. He tried to bring it back into play. And they are going to spot it at the 27-yard line, so it's a gain of about 7 yards. It'll be 3rd and 3 Navy. 27-yard line. And Navy in this quarter with 80 total yards and reducing that scoring margin to 14 points with their touchdown by Nelson. Trying to get this drive going out of their own zone. McCoy. And the ball came loose and recovered by Notre Dame. It was stripped from McCoy. Second costly turnover. And the Irish have it in Navy territory at the 24-yard line. The wrong Cobbins came up with it. Yeah, it's turnovers or penalties that hurt this offense. It was penalties in the first half, and right there, a bad decision by Chris McCoy, and he doesn't make too many bad decisions running that triple option, and they're on the phones to him right now saying, hey, that's the second time you try to get the ball out to McGrew. First time he got away with it. This time, just eat the ball and let's punt it away. And it was Ronaldo Wynn who stripped the ball for Cobbins to recover. It was Wynn who picked up the loose ball when Corey Minor forced the fumble on McCoy that led to the 4th touchdown by Notre Dame that occurred earlier in the 3rd quarter. Charlie Weatherby going into the locker room at halftime said penalties beat us. We're beating ourselves with penalties, and I'm sure right now he's thinking we're beating ourselves with costly turnovers. We just can't do it. Not with this type of offense that we run. We've got to protect the ball. Lou was talking about protecting the ball all week for Notre Dame. We didn't hear anything from Charlie Weatherby.
Please reset the clock.
Right now.
2 minutes, 33 seconds. 2:33.
They're asking to have the clock reset to 2 minutes, 33 seconds. It shows 2:18. McCoy averaging 122 yards rushing at that option quarterback spot for Navy coming into this game today. 13 carries today.
Please reset the clock. 2 minutes, 33 seconds.
13 carries today for -16. Notre Dame has just zeroed in on the dangerous quarterback Chris McCoy and shut him out, and has forced 2 turnovers from him. First down, Notre Dame. 24-yard line of Navy. Denson breaks loose. Denson will score. Touchdown. Denson's second touchdown of the afternoon. 1 from 33, this one from 24. And the Irish open up a 35-14 lead with this point after, if it's successful by Sanson. And it is.
Simple play, a dive off the right side of the line. You got to give credit to that freshman, number 77, Brad Williams. He's making the blocks. He comes out. He gets just enough of the defender for Navy, Rashad Smith. Denson runs into the end zone. Notre Dame comes back up 35-14.
Notre Dame will kick it off, up 35-14 with 2:25 to go in the third quarter here in Dublin, Ireland, at Croke Park, where the crowd has been very much involved in this action right from the get-go. 45,000 plus, and it's fumble in the end zone, and Navy will now not bring it out. A wise decision after Enrico Hunter and Will Smith collided with each other trying to make the catch.
Somebody's got to make the call back there. Usually you have one guy assigned. It's me, 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 or you. Somebody's got to make the call, and what happened, I don't know right there.
Those turnovers for Navy nearly had another one there. They have been costly. One fumble directly led to a touchdown, and the other set it up, both of them by that young man, Chris McCoy. He's had such a brilliant season, but Navy's been all over him today, and they'll go to Ben Fay. The senior from Fort Worth, Texas. He was in for one series in the first half. And he's the better passer, and they're going to go to the air. Astor Heaven has a first down. Deke Cooper made the tackle.
Yeah, down 3 touchdowns with 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. They may have some success running the football, but it takes a lot of time, and I don't think you're going to be able to get 3 drives in this short a time just running the football. So Ben Fay comes in with his big arm to try to make something happen in a hurry.
Godfrey Denson, the Notre Dame running back, who scored his second touchdown moments ago. 12 carries, 108 yards rushing, and his 2 scores. Now Fay on the keeper. Fay picks up about 5 yards on the carry. Ronaldo Wynn and Deke Cooper combined to stop him. Charlie Weatherby says Fay can run this offense as a running option quarterback. He's done it before McCoy arrived. Obviously not as nifty a runner or as fast as McCoy, and he is the better passer, but he's a handy enough runner to execute the offense in its original form. And here he goes again. And he gets hit hard and driven back by Berry and Cooper. I tell you who's been visible today is that freshman Deke Cooper.
He's all over the place, and they were worried about him. They were going to take Alan Ross in the corner, put him over at free safety, and bring in Devon Harper to man Ross's spot. But Deke is coming up with big plays all day. He's all over the field, and he's only a freshman. They worried about his inexperience, but he was a big study this week, obviously.
Again, when you see those shots there of empty seats, do not be deceived. There's a huge crowd here. This stadium seats 76,000 for hurling and Gaelic football. They did not sell a lot of the lower seats because of the much wider field. The views would have been impeded by the players standing on the far sidelines. And so most of the crowd is on the near side of the field, or our camera side, and it is packed.
Now, I like this section over here to our right in the end zone. That's the standing room only section. They've been standing all game long, waving the Irish. They got a flag down there that's part Irish, part American, and they're waving it, and they're having a good time standing up in that end zone.
Well, that says it all. Those are the standing room seats for the normal events here. Third down and about a yard. Fay. And it looks like he got the first down. He's out to the 45-yard line of Navy. So Ben Fay has a successful series and a first down.
Navy can get a quick touchdown here. They'll only be down by 2 with pretty much a whole quarter left to go, and we'll still have a game of it.
Evan comes wide to the left. Ross Scott goes out wide to the right. And we have reached. Well, no, we have not. So 24 seconds on the clock. Let's see. Timeout is called by Notre Dame. 24 seconds left in the third quarter.
Lou just wants to regroup here, make sure his team doesn't give up a big play before the half, or before the end of the quarter here.
Bob Davie, the defensive coordinator there, without the hat next to Lou Holtz. No So we've got more football ahead here on CBS. Our doubleheader continues with regional coverage. Many of you will see the top-ranked Florida Gators against the Georgia Bulldogs at Florida. Some of you will see a Big East bash between Syracuse and the West Virginia Mountaineers. Big East action and SEC action all ahead here on CBS Sports.
Well, they're down by 3 touchdowns, but the Mids are still having fun, as are the Notre Dame fans here at Croke Park.
Nearly 20,000, as we've been saying, made their way over on various tour packages, and they've been having a great time all around Dublin. Some of them will stay a few extra days and tour the countryside. Special place to be, and add a football game and a big Navy mascot. You can have a lot of fun right here at Croke Park. First down, Navy at their own 45. Fay, play action. He's got a man wide open. Shem will score. Touchdown. The senior from Cheektowaga, New York, near Buffalo, gets Navy back into it.
He had one earlier that was called back that really would have got Navy into it. But this one, again, as I said, if they can get a quick score, they'll be right back in the game, only down by 2 touchdowns with a whole quarter to play.
Tom Vanderhorst for the point after. And it is good.
You know, Tim, we were just talking about Deke Cooper, what a great job he's doing in the secondary, but he let Corey Shem get behind him on that one for a long touchdown pass. Cooper just doesn't have enough speed to pick up on number 20 from Cheektowaga. Look at those eyes. He says, I got a touchdown in Ireland.
Corey Shem. Now, Cooper got cut up close to the line of scrimmage and could not recover. And Shem showing good speed. 55 yards for the score.
Yeah, we talked to Weatherby the other day, the coach of Navy, and we said, hey, how about this guy number 20? Every time he gets in the game, he doesn't play a lot, but whenever he gets in, he seems to come up with big plays, and that's the kind of guy he is. Give him a chance, and he'll get it in the end zone for you.
So the Mids celebrate with more push-ups. 35-21. 80 yards in 5 plays, 2:09 on the clock. And Ben Fay delivered the goods with his strong arm. Another short kickoff taken by Farmer, and Farmer gets to the 35-yard line.
Navy must be worried about this return of Notre Dame and Allen Robson, who took one back 99 yards earlier in the season, because right now they're just pooching the ball up in the air. Notre Dame's catching it at about the 30-yard line. They're not getting a big return, but they're getting great field position out of this.
11 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Ben Fay hit both of his passes on that drive for 68 passing yards en route to the 55-yard shot to Corey Shem. First down, Notre Dame at the 35-yard line. Slot right. Wallace pumps once, trying to find a man. He's got one. Johnson. Malcolm Johnson left open, gets inside the 25 of Navy. Robert Green made the stop, a 40-yard pass.
Gerviolota, the safety, number 6, got caught up with the pump fake right there. He bit on it, and Johnson runs by him. If the ball was thrown out in front, he would have been in the end zone, but it gave Robert Green a chance to come over and make the play and stop a sure touchdown. Pump fake by Ron Powers really sucked up Gerviolota.
And we have reached the end of the third quarter with the score. Notre Dame 35, Navy 21. CBS Sports coverage of college football continues from Croke Park in Dublin after this message and a word from your local station.
So I hear he's moving to the corner office.
How's he do it?
I don't know.
Yesterday, he spent an hour with some life insurance guy. That's good time management?
Well, Winters gave the agent his name.
Winters. as in CEO. How's he do it?
Have you heard from the quiet company? Northwestern Mutual Life.
My sister did without for years to make this business work. Some morning she'd wake up, her back felt ready for a wrecking ball. She'd take 2 Tylenol, but hours later, pain had come.
Croke Park, Notre Dame leads Navy by 14. I'm with Notre Dame Athletic Director Mike Wadsworth, who was the Canadian ambassador to Ireland for 5 years. What inside information did you give Lou Holtz to help him here today?
Well, actually, Lou's quite familiar with Ireland. His next passion to football is golf, so he's been here golfing a few times, knows something about the country, and of course, I leave the football entirely to him.
Well, you've got lots of friends and lots of fans here in Ireland today, and you were part of a very special moment earlier today for our own Tim Ryan, awarding him with an honorary monogram for the prestige and honor that he has brought to the University of Notre Dame. And Tim, we know you were surprised, but we all thought you handled it like a pro. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Andrea, and I sure was surprised. I was not expecting that honor at all, and I'm very flattered and privileged, and it was a huge thrill. And I know a lot of people at CBS and at Notre Dame kept that a secret for many months, setting up this occasion here in Dublin. So I thank everybody involved, and it was great. Michael Wadsworth is an old and dear friend of many years, and of course was a great football player during his tenure at Notre Dame. First down at the 25-yard line after that 40-yard pass from Ron Paulus to Malcolm Johnson, setting up Notre Dame again in scoring position. They get to the 23.
Well, early on, with everybody slipping, we thought that this would be a low-scoring game, but with a quarter to go, we've got 56 points up on the board by both teams.
2nd and 8. This is Denson trying to get wide. Can't tiptoe down the sideline as Robert Green steered him out.
Boy, he sure has sure footing out here. Everybody else slipping early. And watch him with Robert Green out here on the corner. He has him dead on, and he able to just juke him a little bit and get out. He just ran out of real estate, or he would have been in the end zone. Boy, this guy is explosive, and he can cut. And he's got a great future with the Fighting Irish.
No question about that. Autry Denson, the sophomore from Lauderhill, Florida. They had him at defensive back. They had him at flanker. Lou Holtz wants him to block a little better, return punts a little better, but you can't keep the ball out of his hands as a running back. This is Edwards, the big fullback, and he gets down to the 5-yard line. Jervy Alota pulled him down. Jervy Alota, the junior from San Diego.
Travis Cooley, good penetration, almost gets Edwards, but not able to make the tackle. Jervy Alota is a sure tackling defensive back. He got suckered up on that play by Malcolm Johnson on the long pass to get him down there, but he stopped the touchdown there.
Got to be impressed with Alota, not only one of their fine players, but what a class guy. I had a chance to meet that young man, and he is just a real fine youngster. 2nd down and a long 4. Notre Dame threatening again, and Denson gets down to the 2. Tom Rhino, reserve linebacker number 42, the senior, made the stop. Gibbsboro, New Jersey, his hometown. Notre Dame knocking on the door again at the 2-yard line of Navy.
You know, they average 6'7", 300 pounds across that front for Notre Dame. Navy shorter, but in situations like this, sometimes being a little bit shorter allows you to get leverage and get underneath and get low. It's critical in these goal line situations.
2 fullbacks in now. Spencer leading for Edwards for Notre Dame. Spencer, number 33, with Edwards in the tailback position. They give it to Edwards behind Spencer, and he dives and is in the end zone. Touchdown. Mark Edwards over the top. Clint Bruce tried his best to keep him out, but there was enough height, enough push from the sturdy Edwards. That's quite a matchup when you get Edwards on Bruce man-to-man.
Yeah, those are 2 throwbacks, those guys right there.
So the Irish widen their lead here at Croke Park in Dublin. Point after is no good.
You know, we've talked about it all day. Edwards happy with his touchdown, but on the right side, Brad Williams again, the freshman converted from defensive tackle, makes the play on his man, and he allows Edwards to get in the end zone. Notre Dame counters with another touchdown, misses the extra point, 41-21 Notre Dame.
It takes founded by Elizabeth I in 1592. That's home to the famous Book of Kells, the beautifully illustrated manuscript of the four Gospels, which dates from the 8th century, and thousands of tourists each year go in to see the Book of Kells and wander around beautiful Trinity College, one of the outstanding academic institutions in the world. And in fact, among the many activities going on here this week, members of the International Board of Trustees at the University of Notre Dame are here formulating plans to open a campus here in Dublin, Ireland. And so there's been lots of academic activity this week as well as football activity. Michael Wadsworth, former Canadian ambassador to Ireland, has been involved in those discussions. And the kickoff by Sanson is taken by Will Smith at about the 12-yard line of Navy, and he brings it up close to the 30. The midshipmen will try to get something going here. Down by 20 with 12:46 to play. Kevin Coretta, reserve tight end, made the stop. 65 yards in 6 plays. Edwards takes it in from 1 yard out.
Well, this Navy team is not built to come back from 20-point deficits, but Ben Fay in the game at quarterback, he is their thrower, and you saw on the last drive he came up with a big play to Corey Shem. 20 points is a big turnaround for Navy to try to come back from.
In just 15 minutes of play remaining, tall order, but Fay will give it a go, and this time he is sacked. LeBron Cobbins blasting in, the senior from Kansas City, Kansas.
Yeah, he's their leading tackler, Cobbins. Right now, Notre Dame wants to tee off. They know the only way for Navy to get back into this game is via the pass. Cobbins comes in, gets the sack.
See Cobbins going for the ball on the play. Good effort by Fay to hang on. Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. This is Canada. Canada breaks loose for a first down to midfield. Tim Canada, the junior, shows good speed from that fullback spot, a 23-yard gain.
Yeah, what Notre Dame has done, something we talked about earlier, they took out D. Cooper that got burned for the touchdown. They brought in Deveron Harper to man Allen Rawson's corner spot. Rawson moves to free safety, anticipating Navy throwing the football.
Boy, you make one mistake on a Lou Holtz team, and you're on the pine for a while.
On the bench, in the doghouse.
We had just finished saying how well the freshmen have been playing through the game, but he did make a big mistake on the Shem play. Pickup of about 5 for Omar Nelson. Navy, after a bad start in rushing yards, they've cranked it up to 170 after a slow start in the first half. You can see in the Born to Run department this season, those numbers. Notre Dame had only 67 against Air Force in the loss, and when they rush well, as those numbers indicate, they win. They had a huge day against Washington. Very good football team, the Huskies. 2nd and 8. And Fay is sacked.
11 minutes to go in the game.
Lots of a couple.
You're down by 20 points. I don't know how long you can afford to continue running the option play, even though that's their bread and butter. They need to get the ball upfield. Notre Dame, however, is playing it loose. They've got 4 defensive backs that are off the line of scrimmage quite a bit.
Leaves 3rd and 8. Fay was right at the line of scrimmage where they nailed him, so it's 3rd and 8. Short drop from Fay, intended for Butts. LeBron Butts couldn't get to the ball off the mark.
Dobbins and Corey Minor putting pressure on Fay that time. Minor's been all over the field all day long. Defensively, he's got to be the star for Notre Dame today.
No doubt. It's been outstanding, and it looks like the game plan was just tailored for him to stay on those quarterbacks. He's done it effectively from each side of the ball. They flop him right and left. And he has excellent speed, and he's been in there all day. They're going for it on 4th down with this big deficit in the 4th quarter. And it's complete. Ross Scott has a first down, Navy. The senior from Hawkinsville, Georgia. Into Notre Dame territory at the 35-yard line.
This team will keep fighting all day long until the final gun sounds. They think they're still in it. Great pass by Fay, avoiding some fingertips of the Notre Dame players.
Rossum put the hit on him. First down, Navy. Fay, straight drop, just got it off. This one picked up on the deflection, and it's Corey Minor. Corey Minor. Fay threw it into traffic. The ball popped up, and Corey Minor, ranging all the way back from a rush position, is there to catch the deflected ball, and there's an injured Fighting Irish defensive back down.
Yeah, Burt Berry gets in on the quarterback, throws into triple coverage, does Ben Fay, and watch Corey Minor. He makes sacks, he jumps up over piles, intercepts the ball, and he can run. He's a future star for this team.
I mean, I love my husband, but he'll buy anything. Good morning, sweetheart.
For Denson, and Navy responds to that one, reading it all the way and dropping him for a loss.
Notre Dame now is content with bleeding the time off the clock. 9 minutes and 40 seconds left in this football game. Up 20 points. Very difficult for a run-oriented team to make up the difference in this short a time. Ron Powers knows it. He's happy to keep the ball on the ground and have this game go in his favor.
Sakaya Champion comes in at wide receiver for Emmett Mosley, champion number 18. And this is Champion on the end around to the 20-yard line of Navy. Rashad Smith and Jerry Alota prevent the score as the senior from Tyler, Texas shows some speed.
You'd think that Notre Dame be content just running the ball up the middle, knock some time off the clock, but Lou Holt said, hey, let's do something tricky. They won't expect it and get a big play, and let's get another score and keep this thing or put it out of reach.
They spotted at the 22-yard line of the Naval Academy. Sakaya Champion comes up with a 39-yard run on the end around. And we have an injury. Timeout at the moment. Ron Paulus, 6 of 11 passing for 90 yards today. And the running attack of Notre Dame continues to get better as the game goes on. And a 39-yard run there by Champion, the wide receiver.
Jervy Alota over on the sidelines, and we haven't mentioned that both benches are on the same side of the field. This is a very unusual thing, especially for the players coming off the field, crisscrossing each other. But they've been well behaved so far today. There hasn't been any skirmishes on the sidelines. Jervy Alota looks like he's got a bit of a cramp there, the way they were working his leg. He's walking it off now. He's a big play guy for that Navy defense, and they sure need him.
Good player, good guy, good player. Yes, the reason they're over there and all standing up along those sidelines is that the Irish football teams use dugouts, similar to baseball dugouts, but they're a long way from the sideline because they play on a much bigger playing surface, so that wouldn't have worked for these American college teams. And so the only way for this to work logistically to keep them near the sideline so they could get in and out on substitution is to have both benches on the same side of the field and thus allow spectator view. We said some of those lower seats were not sold for that reason. And that is Randy Kinder, number 25, the senior who started the game at running back, but Autry Denson got in there and remained for most of the game. We have 8:52 to go here in the final quarter. Notre Dame deep in Navy territory again at the 17 with a 2nd and 6. Kinder, 2,000 yards rushing in his career and nearly a 6-yard per carry average. He missed 2 games early in the season with a quad injury, and that opened the door for Denson. Edwards showing his power to the 10-yard line. Charles Fisher on the tackle. And a first down, Fighting Irish.
Jason Snyder, number 97, missed, ran right by Mark Edwards, stuck out his left arm, but couldn't make the stop. Edwards gets down to the 10-yard line, and Notre Dame trying to put this one away with another score.
Kevin Coretta comes in at tight end, number 40. Make it double tight on this formation. First and goal from the 10. Kinder breaks loose and paddles his way almost to the goal line. Down to the 1-yard line. Randy Kinder. Sean Andrews made the stop.
Navy missing tackles all over the place right now. Coming right at us. Poulter, Hogfeld, they both had shots at Kinder, but he just gets going upfield, close to another touchdown for the Fighting Irish.
Spencer the fullback, Kinder the tailback. Second and goal. Kinder stopped short. The ball nearly came loose. I think he recovered it himself. It was knocked loose by Rashad Smith.
You think if he lost that ball, he would have been playing the next series with Lou Holtz? We would have seen Autry Denson back in the game. The ball's laid on the field. Rashad Smith with a big hit.
You know, I don't think he had a real good grab from Paulus on the handoff. Didn't really have it in good position. Smith came in quickly and knocked it loose. The Notre Dame's possession, third and goal from the 1. This is Edwards. Touchdown. Third touchdown of the day for Mark Edwards. 2 in this fourth quarter. So the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, embarrassed by their defeat at the hands of Air Force 2 weeks ago, used the bye week to get ready to come over to Ireland and make sure that they were not beaten by a service academy in consecutive games, and they're going for 2 points. Edwards is stopped short of the goal line. Well, there's an example of this Navy fighting spirit. They simply were not going to be giving up a 2-point conversion try in a score that is already 47-21.
The Value Drive is on during Oldsmobile's Value Drive sales event. Exceptional
College football doubleheader continues with regional coverage. Many of you will see top-ranked Florida against the Georgia Bulldogs, and some of you will see the Big East Bash between the Syracuse Orangemen and West Virginia. That's all next here on CBS Sports coverage of college football. And here in Dublin, Ireland, Notre Dame leading 47-21, 6:41 to go. And you gotta love Phil McConkey as an alumnus of the Navy midshipmen, that despite the fact that they're getting walloped here by Notre Dame, they would not give up a 2-point conversion. They don't give up anything.
No, they won't give up until that final gun. In fact, talk to guys that play in the NFL, guys I played with and against. They said at Notre Dame, they said they hated playing against Navy. They'd be up by 50 points, and Navy keeps coming at them right to the last second.
Rico Hunter, the deep man, takes it at the 8-yard line, and he is clotheslined, and the 20 by Kevin Coretta, reserve tight end. Well, they did bring Bill the Goat, the 28th mascot. All these years later, Bill makes the trip to Dublin.
28th and the skinniest goat I've ever seen. They used to have these big old rams come out, run around. They better feed this thing some Irish potatoes and fatten them up if they bring him back to the States.
Maybe they found him in a farm field here in Dublin.
He may have. He may be a temporary goat. Substitute goat.
First down from the 20-yard line. Ben Fay up the middle. That's complete to Ross Scott, the senior from Hawkinsville, Georgia. And a first down, Navy out at their 40-yard line.
Notre Dame's not going to let Navy beat them deep. There's people in the intermediary zone, so what's going to happen right now is Navy's going to get behind the first wave in front of the second wave of defenders for Notre Dame and try to come up with passes just like that.
Fay hit his first two. He's now 3 of 6. He's coming in to replace McCoy. He played one series in the first half. This time they keep it on the ground in Nelson. Nelson battles his way for about 7, maybe 8. Seven-yard pickup for Nelson. Maiden, the nose tackle, and Alan Rossum coming up from the secondary on the stop.
Alton Maiden, the nose guard, 281 pounds out of Dallas, Texas, and he wears number 42. I don't know what it is with these guys and these numbers, but a number 42 for a nose guard, 282 pounds, it doesn't seem to fit, Tim.
I love the way these numbers really bother you. And you don't like the single digits on the linebackers
No,
either.
not at all.
That is Shem. Has a touchdown to his credit today and a long pass play. This time they bring him out of the slot back position on the run, and Ivory Covington forced him out of bounds. Be a loss on the play. Third down and 6.
Navy's had enough of those single digits at that linebacking core, especially with number 4, Corey Minor, all day long. He's hassled Navy's triple option run and shoot offense.
Irish have reserve linebacker Bill Wagacy, number 43, a senior from Springfield, Missouri, in the game. Fay intended for Scott, but too high, incomplete. And it'll be another fourth down, and we expect Navy will go. 5:33 to play. Well, now it looks like the punting unit is coming on the field.
You gotta like the way Alan Rawson plays football, number 15. About 5'7", probably at the most. They got him listed at 5'8", but he's all over the place. They call him the Energizer Bunny. The guy's all over the field. He was clocked in the 4.2s a couple times, and that is as fast as any human being can motor.
Wasn't too impressed with Irish food. Didn't try the salmon or the oysters. He went to a local hamburger joint that you can get in our country. Bounces into the end zone. The punt from Covarrubias, and it'll be a first down at the 20-yard line. A 56-yard punt. Notre Dame will start from the 20 when we return.
Like that accountant I told you about? He's great. Helped you.
Notre Dame, he's from Tupelo, Mississippi. 6'1", 218-pounder. Not seen a lot of action this season behind Ron Paulus. His give is to Robert Farmer, and the senior from Bolingbrook, Illinois, picks up a first down over the 30-yard line. Right at the 30, we'll spot it.
We didn't talk much about Ron Paulus. He had a quiet afternoon, 6 out of 11, very efficient. He threw a touchdown pass. And, you know, we talked to him the other day. What a great kid. You know he's got to be frustrated with the 2 losses this year. A lot was expected out of him, but he was in a tough situation. Anything short of a couple national championships, and they were going to get on him.
On first down, Spencer, sophomore fullback from Monroe, Louisiana, picks up about 4. Irish with a number of their second team members in the lineup. Tim Ritter is at left tackle, number 70, sophomore from Omaha, Nebraska. Guy Nelson in at wide receiver, number 9. Luke Pettigrew at the right tackle, number 54. And this is Farmer. Farmer has a first down at the 40-yard line.
Notre Dame substituting also up front. Brad Williams, number 77, sat down. We talked about him earlier. He was the freshman defensive tackle that they switched to right guard, starting right guard for this game. Only a couple days of practice. But one thing, Tim, when they were down towards the end zone, they ran to the right side, right over Brad Williams' side. He's got to be a happy young man. For him to come through today in this kind of fashion is just an unbelievable feat for a football player.
Did a fine job, and they ran behind him a lot. Just short of the first down. It's third and about a half yard. And Farmer gets it and then some. Farmer in a foot race with Alota. And Farmer loses the race but gets inside the 5-yard line. Both players slow to get up. 58 yards.
They're looking for more, just straight up the middle. Farmer shows some speed, but again, it's Jeremy Alota that saves a touchdown for Navy. Just keep your head looking straight upfield, big fella, and you might get in. Every time you turn your head, it's got to slow you down a little bit. But inside the 5-yard line, a big run by Farmer.
Senior from Bolingbrook, Illinois, gets it to the 3-yard line of Navy, and Alota goes limping to the Navy bench. What a game he's had. Hurt himself on that saving tackle of Robert Farmer. And again, just another symbol and example of no quit. Even though the game is no longer in doubt, Alota went down the sideline, refusing to let Farmer make it to the end zone. 47-21 the score. 3:18 to play. And Notre Dame once again close to that end zone. The second unit primarily on the field for the Fighting Irish. John Sarasani at tight end. Kevin Coretta at the other, double tight here in the short yardage situation. Farmer, not much, got maybe a yard. David Quist, who plays both offense and defense for the Fighting Irish, is getting some action. He's at right guard. Also plays some offensive center and plays goal line defense. So he's out there getting some time. And it is Jamie Spencer for the touchdown. Spencer, the sophomore from Monroe, Louisiana. And the Irish widen their lead. Into the 50s we go with 2:19 to play. Well, they kept it on the ground with their second unit, but that big run by Farmer of 58 yards set up yet another Notre Dame touchdown.
Got an injury in the end zone for Navy. Can't make him out from here right now, but this is what Lou Holtz wanted to do. Travis Cooley down right now for Navy. Lou Holtz wanted to play smash mouth power football, and that's what he got out of his team. Coming off that loss at Air Force, they couldn't find a way to run against Air Force, but they sure found a way to run this afternoon against Navy.
80 yards in 6 plays. The touchdown by Jamie Spencer. Notre Dame with 2 losses, doubtful for a big bowl appearance. The Bowl Alliance seems to be out of reach, although things could happen in the final weeks of the season that could open that up for the Fighting Irish. But certainly, as we said at the outset of this game, they could not handle a second loss to a service academy, and they have really taken it out on Navy today. The loss to Air Force, the midshipmen paid the price here in Dublin, Ireland this afternoon, which I know hurts you, Phil. but it's going to be 33 years now since Navy defeated Notre Dame.
There's always next year.
That's right. Scott Palumbo will attempt the point after for Notre Dame, getting a chance here, replacing Sanson. Sanson having missed his last point after. I guess with Lou, that's enough that Scott Palumbo gets a try. and he hits it. 2:19 to play. Notre Dame, 54-21.
So where's our leader?
She'll be here. She's
here in beautiful Dublin, Ireland. A dry day. Not one of the soft days the Irish call it when the rain comes. No rain today. A soggy field. Players had some trouble with it early on, but everybody in the stands has stayed dry here this afternoon. Notre Dame fans, Navy fans, 20,000 strong coming over from the United States. Some expats and Notre Dame fans from the continent joining these fans here today, along with approximately 25,000 locals. Scott Palumbo will kick it off for Notre Dame. And it's taken by Hunter at the 14-yard line. Hunter trying to get some running room, gets over the 30, and is buried there. Lots more college football action ahead here on CBS. In the SEC, top-ranked Florida, they look like they might be national championship material. They'll take on Georgia at home. Or some of you will see Syracuse and West Virginia in Big East action, all next here on CBS Sports. Navy first down at their own 32-yard line. Ben Fay 4 of 8 for 99 yards passing. Keeps it on the option. Struggles for close to 5 yards.
You know, with this 54 points up on the board, you may wonder, well, why is he trying to run up the score? But he's really not. To defend Lou Holtz right here, he's got a second and third unit in on offense. Hey, and these guys want to play. They're looking at next year. They're looking at more playing time. These are eager young men, and they want to get the ball in the end zone. So he's kept it on the ground, doing what I guess you're supposed to do when you're up by that many points. But fortunately for the guys playing for him on offense, they punched one in.
Navy trying to get some more points of their own here on the waning minutes of the game. 2nd and 6, failed throw it. And it's complete to Shem. Good-looking receiver, Corey Shem. Fine hands, good speed. He gets to the 40-yard line. He's going to have a 3rd and 2. Well, Navy will fall to 5 and 2. But no matter what happens the rest of the way, what a job Charlie Weatherby has done with this Navy squad after their years of struggles. Looks like he has the program turned around, Phil.
One more win and they'll have their first winning season, I think, since 1982. So they've got 4 more games after this one, and they should get it.
On 3rd and a long yard, Fay keeps and appears to have the first down. Navy has Delaware, Tulane at home, and then Georgia Tech at Tech. And they finish up in the Classic right here on CBS. Army-Navy, December 7th, with the Commander-in-Chief's trophy at stake in that one. First down at the 42-yard line.
Navy felt like they were prepared this year to end that long streak, especially what Air Force did to Notre Dame a couple weeks ago. But give credit to Notre Dame. They had 2 weeks to prepare for this offense, and they sure did a good job preventing Navy from winning this game.
Fay rolling left, wants to go deep. He's got a man open. Heaven, a diving catch by Aster Heaven. Good job. Sliding down inside the 15 of Notre Dame.
That ball was out in front of him. He would have kept his feet and gotten the end zone.
Fay had to throw running to his left, a right-hander. 43 yards, he got it downfield to Aster Heaven, and Navy takes timeout. With 18 seconds left, they want another score. You got to love this. They're at the 16-yard line of Notre Dame. Notre Dame with their second-team defense on the field. Ben Fay and the offense want to push it in for another Navy score.
Boy, the first couple series this afternoon with this wet field, people slipping and sliding all over the place. We didn't think we'd see many touchdowns at all, but this has been a scoring fest this afternoon, especially if Navy punches this one in to get 28 points.
Antoine Jones is in on the nose for Notre Dame, number 85, sophomore from Piqua, Ohio. Linebacker Lamont Bryan, number 53, a sophomore from Georgetown, South Carolina. In come some new substitutions. Kurt Belisle, a junior from Bradley, Illinois, and on the defensive front. First down, Navy. Fay on the drop, gets some pressure and has to throw it away. Second down with 14 seconds on the clock.
Close to intentional grounding that time.
Bobby Howard, reserve linebacker, had the pressure, number 27. He's a sophomore from Rand, West Virginia. Second and 10. Notre Dame rushed for 299 yards today on 43 carries. Into the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Heaven. Navy rushed for 187 yards today, but they struggled in the first half. Before they got it moving on the ground, it was too late. Ty Good knocked that ball away.
Right now, Navy with a win over Air Force. Army left on the schedule. They'd love to have a winning season and win the Commander-in-Chief's trophy. That goes to the Service Academy team that beats the other two, has a winning record outright. If there's a tie, it remains at the school from the previous year. So if Navy beats Army, they get the Commanders-in-Chief's trophy for the first time in many, many years.
On 3rd and 10, Fay gets some time into the end zone, and it's Corey Shem, touchdown. With 5 seconds left, Shem gets his second touchdown. Fay with the connection again. The Navy fans, despite this scoreboard, they gotta love that.
Good protection for Ben Fay. He starts to look to the left. He's got a guy open in the middle of the field. Shem just comes all the way across the field, gets lost in the shuffle. Nobody around him. He even looked up. He had time to look up to see how much territory or real estate he had left and came back with the ball to catch it for a touchdown.
He is a fine-looking player. Corey Shem runs great routes. He's got good speed, beautiful hands. Soft hands the quarterbacks like to find out there in their receivers. 68 yards and 7 plays. They'll go for 2. Fay just gets it away, and it's too high this time. Intended for Shem.
Shem is just a football player. All he does is make plays every time he's in there. Mark Edwards, a happy guy.
5 seconds remain. Well, tonight on CBS, welcome home to America's Night of Television. Don't miss our all-new episodes of Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, Early Edition, one of the fine new series on television, and Walker, Texas Ranger. That's all tonight on CBS.
I think a lot of people have headed out of the stadium. They've got flights back to the United States with only 10,000 hotel rooms here in Ireland. They staggered the visit. People flew in this morning with their luggage, came straight to the stadium. They'll stay all this week. The people that were here last week, they'll vacate right now, go to the airport on their way back home.
And there's a scene, the midshipmen here in Dublin, Ireland, celebrating the touchdown. A smile on the face of Ron Paulus, the winning Notre Dame quarterback. Moments before, and next week the Fighting Irish will be back here on CBS taking on Boston College. There's Lou Holtz. You'd think he's down 54-27 here. He plays every play right to the end. There's no smiles until it's all over. Victory is secured, and then usually he'll find some things wrong in the performance anyway. But he's got to be happy at the way his team rebounded from the loss to Air Force. And here's a chance for Jamie Spencer, one man to beat, on the onside kick, and he's forced out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Well, Navy again, just on the last play, they try to get possession of the ball, and there's actually still 1 second left. So Charlie Weatherby, talk about battling to the end. They wanted the ball with an onside kick, but the bounce came right to Spencer, and he nearly went the distance. And Notre Dame will have the final play from the 20-yard line of Navy. I like this coach, Charlie Weatherby. I like his attitude, I like his spirit, and certainly Navy fans like his record, despite the loss today.
Yeah, he came in and revived this program that had been down for many years. Everybody associated with the Naval Academy has got to be happy with Charlie Weatherby, the job he's done in his football team.
And that'll do it. So the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame defeat the Midshipmen of Navy here at Croke Park in Dublin, Ireland, 54-27. The 33rd straight win over Navy, establishing a new record in the NCAA for a series between two teams. This is the oldest intersectional rivalry in the country. And the mascot, the Irish Times called Darby O'Gill, can properly celebrate. And the two coaches sharing their comments here at the end of the game. So for Andrea Joyce and Phil McConkey, I'm Tim Ryan saying so long from Croke Park. Next, CBS Sports coverage of college football continues, when some of you will see the #1 ranked Florida Gators hosting the Georgia Bulldogs. Others will see the Syracuse Orangemen take on the 18th ranked West Virginia Mountaineers. Once again, the final score, Notre Dame 54, Navy 27. You've been watching CBS Sports coverage of college football.
Sponsored by Zostrix, the topical pain.